In a world of worries where daily 24-hour news networks seek to scare the crap out of us, sometimes we all need to be reminded of the things that make us all smile. And one of the things that you may or may not have seen that should make you smile is a 4-year-old in a taekwondo outfit. Because as your brain starts thinking about what tiny little clothes little 4-year-olds wear, and then making them sports specific, and then making the little 4-year-olds run around a room and do taekwondo against each other and do jumping jacks as a group, which 4-year-olds can't really do, let's be honest with each other. It is as cute of a mental image as you are personally painting. And that's how I want to start this episode, with a smile and a happy mental image.
Thanks, TJ. We went live, and
Oh,
this is episode 154, and we are joined with our good friend Stephanie. Outcommon
That's really close. Uncommon Outpost.
uncommon.
How many years have we been friends, Jess?
yeah, who are you people?
I know.
What, somebody took Jesse's horse. Where are we?
TJ is going to run through our sponsors real quick, and then we're going to get all into Steph.
All right, so as we start every episode, we got to thank Hannah and the team over at Surf Prep Sanding Systems and Abrasives. There are lots of options in this market, but none of them, other than Surf Prep, say Surf Prep on them. And if you're looking down at your sander, well, maybe you're doing a little work in the shop, or maybe you're thinking, you know what, this board is a little rough, and I do love a nice smooth finish on my wood. Well, let me tell you, look in your hand, and if it doesn't say Surf Prep, start making better decisions. Go to Surf Prep, use coupon code Sawdust Talk, save a little bit of money, and get yourself something fancy. Treat yourself. Next, we want to say that if you want to get some Sawdust Talk merchandise, you can swing over to kcbombshelldesigns.com, kcbombshell.com, and check out some scroll saw art if you're into that kind of thing. And also, wrap yourself in the luxurious warm hug of a Sawdust Talk sleeper size shirt. I mean, I'm not saying it's a nightgown, but I'm not saying it's not a nightgown. And nightgowns are for anyone. You ever seen somebody with a little sleeping cap and a gown? Yes, yours could say Sawdust Talk on it over at kcbombshell.com. We also want to talk about Makers for St. Jude. We partnered up with Mike over at Woodworker versus Cancer and the Makers for St. Jude project over 2 years ago. Not 3 years, 3 and some change years. God, time
We're going
flies.
into 3. Yeah.
Going into year 3. Makers for St. Jude allows makers from Instagram and YouTube communities to take either extra goods or specifically made goods and raffle them off. And the proceeds of the raffles go directly to St. Jude Children's Charities, which work to help families dealing with childhood cancer. We have an awesome raffle going right now, compliments of Harvey and Industrial. There is a 3 horsepower, 15-inch bandsaw with every bell and whistle, I think, except their newest technology that just got released today on it. And you could win it for a $30 raffle ticket. Are you freaking kidding me? And St. Jude Children's Charities will send you a tax receipt for all of your raffle ticket purchases. So talk to your CPA about how that could be good for you in a multitude of different ways. But yeah, we love Mike. We love Makers for St. Jude and being a part of the charity. And if you want to get involved, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Jessie or Mike over at Woodworker versus Cancer, and we'll help you get all set up. And I think in the coming weeks, we've got a really cool drive going as well. So get in touch if you want to get involved. And then lastly, there is a Patreon for this lovely show for as little as $5 a month, less than a grande latte. You could support Jessie and I to getting to some events, or maybe getting a slightly fancier camera for Jessie so that she comes in loud and clear. But yeah, Patreon helps keep the show going. And yeah, everybody who participates or has participated in the past, we thank you. And yep, that's everything that we need to talk about, I think. Jess, did I miss anything?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
You got it all. We're gonna shift focus to Steph over here. And who are you? Why are you? Tell us all of the things.
Well, I've been stressing about how I was gonna answer this question for 3 days now, because I don't know. I am what happens when you tell a creative child that they can be anything they want when they grow up, and then you give them no parameters and no deadline. So they become everything and nothing, all while trying to figure out what it is that they're supposed to be, and then they're 40, and then they're, what do you do now? And that's me.
Yes, you do precisely what you've done, which is wonderful.
Thank you.
And so the viewers can see behind you that you have quite a collection
A mess.
of sewing machines and sergers and things that manipulate thread. Um,
I'm
tell
in
us
my
a little bit about your collection back there.
well, what is behind me right now? I have I have 6 now. I have 6 sewing machines, like you do. Um, I got my first one for my 18th birthday, and, I've been sewing since I was a little kid. I've been making things since I was a little kid. Like, I just kind of that's my whole life. I've been doing that forever. There was never not a time where I wasn't making things. And so, I got my first sewing machine at 18, and then, I got a serger in college or right after college, and then I got into a little bad habit of buying industrial sewing machines on Facebook Marketplace, like some
Yeah.
people do. They take up a lot of space because they have a whole table. And then I learned about how to do servo motors, and then I bought an 1800s little chain stitch, and my newest one is a cover stitch, so that I can make swimwear because I need to do that.
Well, yeah, you don't want to have itchy seams on your swimsuit, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was for cosplay mainly. So there's a lot of spandex in costuming. So gotta make it nice on the edges. And also that one was from Facebook Marketplace. Pretty much everything I own is like some old person that can't see anymore, can't use their tools, or they're like they died, and then I bought it at an estate sale in the least traumatic way possible.
Okay, but we need to like get the whole overlay of everything that you do for our listeners.
This show's only an hour long.
I know it's only an hour long. But Steph, talk to us about your job
Okay.
and your side endeavors.
Okay, so professionally, I am now in metal manufacturing. I've been doing that for 5 years. I work for a company called Wall Control. We make wall-mounted steel pegboard, as evident behind me, and I run the powder coating line. And I'm the materials manager, which is a lot of different stuff because it's a small family company. I'm like the only person in the office that's not related. So, we all wear a lot of hats, which is nice because then I don't get bored. But, I do stuff from, like, logistics to, planning the future. I pretty much control the flow of steel through the entire company. So, ordering parts to, coating them, sending them off in trucks and stuff like that. And so I do the powder coating line, and, some days, things that are supposed to be on fire are not on fire, and then the things that are not supposed to be on fire are on fire, and so I get to figure stuff like that out. It's pretty fun.
That's wonderful. Is stepping into a giant electroplating kiln for powder coating sort of intimidating the first time, or how big is like the apparatus that you're hanging and
Oven?
spreading? Yeah, the oven.
Um, well, we have 2 ovens. We have a dry off oven and a curing oven. And mm, the dry off oven's like bigger than a single car garage, and then the curing oven is like 3 times that big. So they're pretty big.
That's so awesome.
But it's a conveyor system, so you shouldn't be going in there unless
Oh,
something's
yeah, that'd be bad.
yeah.
Fumes.
Yeah, and it's 400 degrees, so there's that too.
Yes.
Oh dear God. Okay, but okay, aside from that aspect of your life, that's a small part of your life. You do cosplay and you have an old house like I do,
Oh,
which
yeah.
we connected so much.
Sure did. Yeah, so I bought this house that was already renovated. I bought it from a contractor, which was a terrible idea, but I was kind of in a tricky situation. I was, coming out of a really bad relationship, and I had, not a lot of time to find a place to live, and I live in Atlanta, where the rental market is stupid, and you have to it is the metropolitan area that has the highest percentage of renters to owners, so basically, they can make up whatever rules they want for renting, and you have to have most places, if it's a safe neighborhood where a woman would feel comfortable living by themselves, that is, like, not in an apartment where because you're not allowed to do power carving in an apartment, evidently. So, I was like, "I need a place where I can, you know, bring my assortment of tools and be loud." And so, they basically say you have to make 3 times the rent, and the rent is stupid, and I don't make 3 times the rent of any property that I would feel safe in. But they'll let you buy a house if you only make twice the rent. And so, my budget was basically an hour away or former meth lab, and, my poor realtor and the places that I took her, and I feel really bad because she's a very nice lady. But, after looking for a few months and, losing out on a couple bidding wars, I ended up in a bidding war on this house, and it was like, "I have to win this or I'm gonna have to move into an Airbnb because there's literally no other options for me," and I had to be out of where I lived. And so, I bought this house. It didn't have any of the things I wanted. I wanted a garage. I wanted like 2 full bathrooms. I wanted it to be not shitty. And it didn't have any of those, but seemed livable at the time. But it's like the Murphy's Law of houses, like everything, like it's comically ridiculous how many things have gone wrong in this house. And like, I can't help but laugh now because I'm like, "Oh, yeah, of course a squirrel ate a hole in the roof. Why would it not do that?" That seems like a thing that would happen to me. And I have 2 accidental bathroom renovations and a busted water main and everything else later. Jessie and I get to bond over how stupid our houses are. And the person who renovated this was a moron. And, there's an abundance of code violations, and I'm surprised it hasn't burned down yet, but we're working on it. And by we, I mean me, and slowly, but it's happening.
For sure. That's like I mean, I think we bonded heavily over fuck this old house
Mhm.
in my videos on that because I mean, my house is old too, and it was also renovated by somebody who probably didn't know what they were doing. So it was added onto and added onto and added onto, and then now I get to deal with like the rot and the poor choices that people made before me. So yeah,
People are like, who landscapes with poison ivy? Why? Do you hate your neighbors that much? Why would you do that? Why? Why?
That's my favorite question when I'm fixing stuff. Why is this like this?
I'm like, how stupid was this person that did this? Like, there wasn't enough insulation in the attic, so they just took black trash bags full of insulation and threw them in the attic. Didn't lay them down on anything. They just threw the trash bags full of insulation up there. That was there. And
So,
they
like
buried not insulating anything. No.
so just like bags full of cellulose
No,
or
bats, moldy bats, just chilling up. I mean, like, these people are idiots. Um, I hope they're not listening to this. Actually, I don't care. Yeah, I have like a bit of a radon situation. I've been releveling my foundation. Um, yeah, they didn't attach the toilets to the flanges, and the flanges weren't attached to the pipes, and nothing is grounded in my entire house. They My primary bathroom, the only GFCI, is run on a circuit that goes through the dishwasher, lays on the ground in the crawl space, is split, just like hanging from the ceiling of the crawl space. It goes to my air handler, and all this through the dishwasher. Through, not not by, through the dishwasher. And then it splits, and one split goes to an outlet in the crawl space. Plugged into that outlet is an extension cord, and that extension cord is sliced, and that is my primary bathroom GFCI. So, yeah. And that's not the worst one. So, if that gives you a bit of an idea of what I'm working on.
That's so elaborate. There's how
Yes. And if you're wondering if I can use a hairdryer and have the heat on in my house at the same time, no, I cannot.
Yeah, I was like that in the house before this one. Yeah. Especially like a good hair dryer also. Those things pull like 1700 watts. Those are the big beefy ones.
Yeah, I don't have that. But like, because my hair dryer is hooked up on the same, or my bathroom is the same as my dishwasher. I'm like, I couldn't figure out why the heat in the dishwasher wouldn't go at the same time.
Well, you figured it out
That's
now.
Now I
insane.
know.
And so when you're down in the crawl space and you're examining this wire that I guess you can just name Count Chocula,
Now I am naming it that.
there you go. Yeah.
Chocula.
Count Chocula. Wow, that's really exciting stuff.
Yeah, so I'm rewiring the whole house one room at a time. And I've made it through 0 rooms so far in 3 years working on it.
No, that's not true. Your like sunroom is almost done, right? I mean, you had to go under and like rebuild the foundation for that thing.
That's correct. Yeah, the supports for that were on footers that were about 10 inches wide and 2 inches deep.
Ew.
Oh, it was on patio pavers.
No, they poured concrete, so it looked
Oh.
like a real footer.
Oh, okay.
I should weigh it. Maybe I'll do a thing and have people guess how many pounds of concrete we're holding up that entire room. But that's going to be my studio, and I'm putting my massive 400-pound workbench in there, which needs a floor. And the floor had already sunk 3 inches, so I had to bring it back up. It had sunk a long time ago, so when they installed the windows in that room, it used to be a sunroom or like a louvered windows. So when they installed the glass windows, they leveled them to the crooked room. But they did the reveals of all of the windows are just like at a 15-degree angle. So now that the room is level, all the windows are crooked.
They're just looking towards a brighter tomorrow, is what you're saying.
The entire room is windows. So I'm like, I guess my options are to rehang 9 windows or buy curtains.
Okay, but when you look at them and you realize that they're laid back, is your mind on your money and your money on your mind, or
My mind is on punching whoever did this renovation before me.
I love you.
It often is. But you know what? As people like to tell me, people like to DM me and they're like, "You're learning so much." I'm like, I already knew how to do this. I didn't need a primer on how to do this. I knew how to do this. I didn't want to do it. That's why I bought a house that was already renovated. And then I spent the last 3 years renovating other
Renovated.
people's houses instead of my own. So,
Oh my gosh. Going over old people's
people are so
crap. I'm just gonna say it. Old people's crap is infuriating. Like it's awful.
It is.
The
At least I
things
know
that I
it's right now.
found, yeah, the things that I found in my house, I'm like, why? Like, why did you do that? Why are you the way that you are?
There's some
Don't
strange, like,
understand.
there's a built-in in my bathroom. They just like cut a hole in the wall beside the bathtub and put an IKEA dresser in it. And then it was supposed to be a closet. And so they just like you open the closet from the other side and there's just the back side of an IKEA dresser in it.
That's cute.
Is it?
okay, so like if you remove the dresser and I guess half of a
Just a hole
wall,
in the wall. Oh, it's like taller than me.
Okay, so you could technically walk from that room into a closet and not end up in Narnia, but you could end up in a bathroom.
Technically, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna make a better built-in because there's no storage in this house. Like, there's no pantry. There's like the laundry is outside. Like, there is zero storage. And all the closets are really small and weirdly laid out, like very weirdly laid out. So I do need the storage, and it'd be nice to be able to like have bottles and of like all of my like potions and stuff in the bathroom. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it correctly instead of having it be like particle board in a bathroom because that's stupid.
that's another one of those what were they thinking questions, huh?
They're very IKEA happy in this house. They're about that life.
Well,
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm about to do some IKEA built-ins, IKEA hack, if you will, in my primary room. And there's nothing wrong with IKEA stuff. But you got to do the right IKEA thing in the right place.
Yeah.
You know, and there's quality. There's levels of IKEA. Like there's the things that are $10 and there's the things that are $100. And if you're going to permanently attach it to your home, don't get the shittiest one.
and then put molding across the top of them so it looks like it's all one piece instead of a whole bunch of itty bitties.
Exactly. Like
I mean, there's like the IKEA hacks for tons of stuff, and some of them are very good.
dude, I
Like,
love a good IKEA. Like, I'm doing
some-
shelves in my primary room. I could not buy the wood to make the shelves for 3 times what I can buy the shelving units for from IKEA.
Exactly.
Why would I do that? Um, and like I can modify them to
Yeah,
look exactly the way I want. So, I mean, sure, yeah, it'd be great to have custom built-ins, but that's not in my budget.
right.
So,
It's just like the separation between like do it or do it right.
exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
And like if you're going to make something out of basically cardboard, don't put it in your bathroom.
Yeah,
It will swell and probably fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just another journey, another fun project for me to do.
It's great. Um, let's can we like switch around a little bit and talk about the
Sure.
cosplay stuff? Because
Absolutely.
we have to.
I dress up to renovate my house because I get really bored sometimes.
like
So
you should.
transition. That was my attempt at a really smooth transition,
And it was.
right?
Mhm. So the top cosplay outfit that you're willing to share with the world on the Instagram is you really rocking a Colossus.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my most recent one that I did. That's the first time I went to like a professional photo shoot for a cosplay thing because normally I just do it for fun. Now I have a lot of cosplay friends, and so they all, kind of. I was like, I'll do a real one with a real photographer. It was really fun. Kind of terrifying though.
Why was it terrifying?
Um,
You
I
looked smoking hot.
Well, obviously, but uh, well, because I'm not used to being photographed, and I'm also not used to being photographed as a 6'6" Russian, which is like slightly different than as myself. I don't know how to pose as a man. I got some help from a guy that was like Wolverine and a bunch of different things, and he was helping me like pose man. I'm like, I don't know how to pose manly. I didn't know what to do, and I didn't realize that until I got there.
Yeah, but somebody helped, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's very much like the maker community where people are very, very nice and very like willing to help, and like people are super cool. So I like it a lot.
I was gonna say, there is a video of Lindsay Woodbrain
Mhm.
helping you make a costume, correct?
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Tape
wrote
like taped you
Lindsay
up and
into
stuff.
taping me up. I want to make a dress form of myself, which I've already done. I made one out of um, concrete a long time ago. Uh, it's not accurate because it was like early COVID and I wasn't 40 then. And so now I need one that's like accurate body size so that I can make armor and stuff to fit me. And so I had Lindsay tape my entire body and I'm going to use that to make a dress form that's my size. Because you can get custom ones, but they're like $1,500. And I have more tape than I have dollars. So
Yes, but that's like the mix between like maker community and like just friends in general. Like you have maker friends and then you have maker friends that help you tape your body so you can make cosplay stuff. And I
yeah,
think
that's
that's freaking
most of my
cool.
maker friends. Like if I was like, "Hey Jesse, I need you to tape up my entire body." You would
Oh,
do
I would
it.
do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just about like which of your friends do you trust to touch your butt? That's really what it's about.
Aw, I love it.
Cuz like I had do you guys know Tamara? Tamara Robertson?
Yes.
Okay. I had her glue my fake butt to my real butt for my Colossus costume.
Shut
So
up.
she had to rubber cement my butt to my butt because I couldn't do it myself without getting it crooked. And like I haven't done a squat in a long time, so like I needed some more padding to be
Junk in the
Colossus.
trunk.
Yeah, I need a little more. I need a little more. And I didn't have time to do all the squats that I needed to do.
Right, but your dedication to really bringing it and getting your butt cemented is what really I think brings it all together.
It burns. I didn't know that at the time. But, patting yourself is very common for, like, cosplay stuff because if you've ever put your body in a cat suit, like, it is not flattering on most people, and it has a tendency to make everybody, like, shaped like a popsicle stick or a Snickers bar. Like, you don't it takes away all of your, like, aesthetically pleasing curves and highlights the ones you don't want. So, a lot of people, when they wear cat suits, wear, like, padding underneath.
So hold
Fun
on.
fact.
Does Tamara do cosplay too?
Yeah. She's,
She does?
she's one of the first ones that got m like, I joined her cosplay group.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that about her. We need to have her on the podcast. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we do.
I would
Yeah, she's
love
great.
that.
I joined her cosplay group at Dragon Con, like, 3 years ago, and I just kinda showed up and, like, I wore things I already had because 'cause I've been making costumes for a long time, but I haven't ever gone to, like, a cosplay convention, or I hadn't at the time. And so, that was an enlightening experience for me. And then the next year, I did like 5 group costumes with them,
I love that.
and
That's
this
so
year I have a
cool.
bunch more. So I'm excited about it.
I think the group costumes and group photo shoots really sell all the ideas a little bit better. Like it's awesome going to cons and every once in a while you'll see like a whole space marine and all the kit and that's really cool. But it's not the same thing as seeing a whole platoon of space marines all kitted out together, right?
Mhm.
Or, it's neat to see one Tommy Pickles, but without the rest of the Rugrats, that's just a dude in a diaper, and that can be a little unnerving.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. But, Dragon Con, like, everything is unnerving, like, that's the kind of the whole point. And so, a dude in a diaper is just, like, regular. That's
Well,
nothing. Not even gonna bat an eye at that, you know?
um, so once upon a time in the not so recent past, um, I saw your face on a TV show.
Yes, it was not America's Most Wanted.
No, it wasn't, but
I
that's
don't
why
see
my
that anymore.
babysitter wouldn't let me watch Cops. So, like, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I was on a renovation show called Renovation Hunters for, in various forms for 3 seasons. I was a guest on the 1st season and a cast member for the 2nd and 3rd season. I just stepped away from that, a couple weeks ago, actually, or a month ago, so I don't actually remember when, but relatively recently. And the last episode that I'm on just aired on Friday for the first time. So very recently, my departure.
Do you
So
want to talk a little bit more about that?
Do you want the like politically correct answer that I gave like all the sponsors in the show, or do you want both answers?
I
Both.
would I would rather also hear about all of the different things that you found yourself working on over the course of 3 seasons. Like, and instead of specifically what it was, like how many different disciplines did you really find yourself hands-on approaching?
Um, like a good amount, but we didn't have a lot of people. We only have 8 people doing the entire renovation, and we only have 8 days to do it. And so it's kind of one of those things where like once they find out that you're capable of doing something, then you're probably going to be doing a lot of that thing. And uh how can I put this? The guys hate painting and they pretended to be really shitty at painting so they didn't have to. I got stuck painting a lot because I didn't know about pretending to be shitty at something that you don't want to do so you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
So, and as many women in the trades can tell you, if you walk onto a job site and there's a paintbrush and a nail gun and a man and a woman walk on the job site, like guess who's getting the paintbrush and who's getting the nail gun?
Hmm.
That's and that's nothing to our like contractors. It's nothing like the reality is our contractor who is amazing and I love him dearly. He had to get this house built in 8 days. And I'm a very messy painter, but I was like, I can be quick or I can be clean. Which one do you want? Because I can't do both at the same time.
Mhm.
And so, and like I did a lot of interior trim, a lot of trim carpentry. I did a lot of painting. I did a lot of caulking. One of the properties we did was like an 1800s log cabin, and the like chinking between all of the logs. That was on my first season. I wasn't even a cast member yet. I was just volunteering, and I think I went through like 4 cases of caulk or of the like chinking. I forget the like masonry stuff to because you could just see right through the logs, and that was a lot. Um, there were some houses that just like would not take paint. We had to put like 8 coats of paint on the walls to get it to stay. Um, like it was it was a crazy situation. Like we had a literal dumpster fire at one. Like our dumpster caught on fire.
I thought that only happened in St. Louis. That's awesome.
No, and it was like a greasy rag situation, we think, or
Huh.
something. It's like they had emptied the dumpster and people were doing like a table with some like oil-based finish, and it was really hot. And we think somebody put a oily rag in the dumpster and it was on like the hot metal bottom and it just like ignited some dust or something. Because we were about to like we were eating dinner and someone's like, it smells like smoke. And and they come back and they're like, the dumpster's on fire, and we're like, yeah, this project has been a dumpster fire, and they're like, no, dude, like it's on fire. Couldn't get the firemen are all volunteer firemen, so by the time they got down the road, like they took over and they just took the hoses that we had and started spraying with them because they couldn't get the trucks down the road, so there was really not much they could do besides what we were already doing. But
Did you get to see somebody discharge a fire extinguisher? That's always pretty exciting.
no. It was
Oh,
way too big of a fire for that.
It
no.
brings like a whole new level to dumpster fire, like
Yeah.
for sure.
It made for a
Because
lot of good jokes for me, for the team, but
I mean, what is it? I saw a post recently that basically nobody from the previous seasons are coming back to the show.
there are a few people returning, but there's only the host and one person from the original cast is returning. I was the last woman on the cast. Everyone else had already left. Um, and we've been through quite a few. And let's just say There's a reason that women don't wanna work on that show. It's, it wasn't an easy place to work, and it's not like, construction's not an easy job. I'm not gonna say it ever is, because it's not.
Mhm.
Nothing in the trades is easy, and trying to renovate an entire house is 8 days is hard. But, you know, as a woman, it wasn't a great, environment, and there's a reason that I was the only one left. And the reason I came back is because like, the reason I came back for another season is because I didn't want anyone to be able to say that girls couldn't hack it, and that's why there were no women left on the show. Because I worked my ass off, and I had just as much, if not more experience in construction than a lot of my castmates, and, uh, and I didn't want anyone to be able to say, I left because I couldn't do the job, because I did the job above and beyond, and so did the other girls. But I also am in a different situation because I don't have kids. I don't have a family that's at home being like, "Mom, you're not at our game. You're not at our thing. You're not at
Mhm.
this thing." And that was a big issue for a lot of the guys on the show as well, because they have young children. Like they missed anniversaries, they missed birthdays, they missed major things in their kid's life. And I'm like, nobody's waiting at home for me besides the dishes I should have washed before I left. You know, it's a different situation for me, and I know that. Um, but I did use all of my vacation for 3 years doing that, and, I have a shitty old house that's perpetually falling more and more apart, and it got to a point where we're going to renovate these houses, and I'm like, "This house is better than my house. Like, why are we
Fuck
fixing
this
this
old
house?"
house.
I'm like, "This house is really not that bad, like, my house is kinda worse than this one. Like, why am I renovating other people's houses? My own house is falling apart, and nobody's doing anything about it."
Mhm.
So, the politically correct reason is that I am after renovating other 9 other people's houses, it's time that I actually renovate my own. Uh, the,
Well, you've got a hot date with Count Chocula in the crawl space,
I
so
do. I have a date with Count Chocula, and I did find out before I signed when they offered me my contract that I had been paid less than all the guys the entire time, and that they were offering me significantly less for the 4th season than they were offering my castmates who had been there either the same time as me or less time than me. This is not someone who'd been there longer than I had. And so when I find out, like, I am an advocate for women in the trades. I've
Mhm.
been publicly speaking out. I do forums, I do talks, I've been in magazines, I talk regularly about women joining the trades. So I can't, in good conscience, be a strong advocate for women to do trade work when I go and do a job where I'm not treated as an equal. And I don't wanna be someplace where people don't want me. So,
Amen to
well
that.
said.
Oh my gosh. That is powerful. Like, I appreciate you so much for standing up for that.
thank
Yeah,
you.
man, those are
So,
big shares. Absolutely.
I mean, I
So,
probably shouldn't have said that online, but, it's I mean, who knows? They pulled people from the maker community before. I mean, if other women are asked to join the show, I mean, reach out to me before you sign a contract, you know? So, you know, I and it's not and I'm
so
sure it's not just that show. I'm sure it's a lot of other situations because, it happens a lot in all sorts of fields, and it happens a lot in the trades. But that doesn't mean we have to let it happen.
right. And we talked
absolutely.
a little bit before about the whole social media and following and growing and all of that stuff. I I mean, it's kind of the same thing when it comes to that too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, no one's gonna look at TJ and be like, "I bet your wife built that when you were out doing something else," you know? Um, that's not gonna happen to you. And if it does, good on whoever said that. I mean,
Yeah, I
no.
had it coming.
Yeah, I mean, like, It doesn't really happen a lot to me because I know like 70% of my following in person. I've met them, so like, don't don't talk shit to me. I know who you are. Um, but for I'm sure it happens to a lot of my friends who are like actually famous on the internet, and so I mean that sucks for them. But don't get famous and it won't happen.
I know, but it's still the same thing as like getting, paid for content, paid for your time.
Yeah.
The show isn't the only thing. It's like when it comes to content and content creation, that's still an issue, is that some brands just want you to post stuff and not pay you for it.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, that absolutely happens. I've never thought about that happening more to women than men, honestly, but it's not surprising. But, um, I don't know, now I got my brain going. I don't know, I think I don't know, it depends on so many things, and, like, climates are changing and, like, the way marketing teams are doing social media is dramatically changing. So, I mean, I've only been doing this for 9 years, I haven't figured it out yet, and I feel like as soon as I figure something out, it's wrong and we're doing something else now, so just kinda gave up on that, and I just, like, have my friends on the internet, and I post dumb stuff for them, so
Seems like you're following your passion, and that's good.
yeah, yeah. Um, you know, I thought a long time ago that I wanted to make content for a living, and then I realized that that is incredibly stressful, and I am not the kind of person who can do that. Like, there's just not enough Xanax in the world for me to depend on making content to pay my bills, even if that was an option. Uh, like, I need health insurance, and I need the rest of my life is so unstable. Like, look at my stupid house falling apart. Like, I need something. I need to know I have a paycheck coming. And I think that's true for a lot of people who don't have like a significant other or a partner or something like that. Like if it's just you, it's really hard to do something like that full time when you don't have anyone else you can rely on because it's such a huge time commitment. Um, like the world was designed as a 40-hour work week with the assumption that there's someone else doing all that other work. That when you get home from your 40-hour work week, someone else is cooking and cleaning and running errands and taking care of the house. So when you are the person who has to do that work week and that whole other job and do a job doing content, and because we live in a stupid time, have another part-time job, there's just not enough time for that. And it's
yeah.
the stupid little things like taking the trash out and like having to mow your yard and stuff that just like
Mm-hmm.
unlandscape your poison ivy. Like there's just too many things to do.
I was gonna say, and not get into poison ivy in the meantime.
Yeah, right? I mean, like I missed it this year and now it's back and I'm like, great. I have to put my stupid poison suit on again and go spray everything.
Mhm. Well, again, I mean, you're a safety couple of Dayglow straps and a hard hat away from doing a Beastie Boys cosplay while you do it, right?
I mean, I've been trying. I spent an entire year trying to match with an arborist on Hinge so that I could have somebody else take care of some of the stuff for me, and that did not work out well for me or any of those arborists.
That is such a delightful sentence.
I mean, like, gotta play the game.
Most certainly.
We had the best heart to heart at WBC this year, and we don't need to go into it, but I just
But
have
also, if you're an arborist and you're listening to this, yeah, I have like
Oh,
15
somebody hasn't gotten me in a
9-foot-tall
while.
poplar trees in my yard. Like 15 of them.
I mean, I would come trim your trees for you. I'm just saying. Um, Also, you did reach out to a previous guest
You're gonna time me out on that?
I am gonna shout you out on that. I told you for a year, I'm like, I know this
Good.
girl, her name's Kat, and she was a guest on our podcast, and she is so cool, and she also does cosplay. You have to watch her episode, and you finally did. And I
I
love
did.
that for you.
Yeah, and then I slid into her DMs, and then she blocked me. I'm just kidding. She might
She
have. I don't
didn't
know.
block you. Stop.
No, well, I've made a lot of my friends. I made my first friend in the maker community by sliding in her DMs real creepily, like the day before my first workbench con,
Who
which
is
was the
that?
second workbench con. Jessie Ueda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was like, "Hi, you don't know me, but I'm here. I don't have any friends." And she was like, "I'll be your friend." And I was like, "Sweet." And we're still friends now. So
I think that's
slide
how
in
it
people's
goes,
DMs.
though,
It is
right?
a
That's how it
wonderful theme in
goes.
this community.
Yeah. I mean,
You
I
reach
know
out.
plenty of people who have made some of their best friends in the community by just, like, randomly DMing someone.
Mhm.
Right. You reach out, like, and that's the thing is I've always told people, I'm like, don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I have a question about this. Like, you do this. Like, can I ask you a question about it? Like, I don't know a lot of people that would actually reject that message and say, well, I'm not going to share my stuff with you. Like, most
Right.
people in the community don't gatekeep stuff. So, yeah, I always encourage people to reach out. Just say, "Hey, I like what you do. Like, can you help me with something?"
Yeah.
People do that to me all the time, and, like, I will stop what I'm doing and write them, like, detailed instructions on how to do whatever it is they're doing.
Mhm.
It's like, if you have the balls to DM a stranger, like, I'm at least gonna give you the time of day to answer your question. Granted, this doesn't happen a lot to me, I'm sure it happens a lot more to other people, but, um, yeah, do it. What's the worst that happens? You stay in the whatever the category on the right is.
The
You know what I'm talking about?
requests.
Yeah, that one. For a couple
Yeah.
days, somebody sees it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, is there anything or discipline in the maker community that you haven't had a chance to just completely nerd out on and accumulate all the gear? And if so, what do you suppose that is, and why haven't you?
The depend which part of that question do you want me to answer? The one that I
Start at
haven't
the
had the chance
beginning.
to nerd out on, or the one that I don't have the gear? Because I have the stuff for things I haven't
Leather.
nerded out on. Huh? My
Leather.
pile of leather? What?
Leather.
The pile of
Leather
leather?
work?
I do it. Yeah, I do a lot of leather working. I
Okay.
don't post, like, the most of what I do because I'm bad at making content.
You need to.
Yeah, I just forget to take pictures of stuff, or I'll be like, "I'm gonna record this," and then I get through 3 steps, and then I'm like, "Oh, it's done," and I gave it away, and I never took a picture of it. Um, but 2 things, I guess I, uh I really wanted to do rug tufting, and I bought a tufting gun when I bought like, right before I bought this house because I didn't own any rugs, and I was like, "I'm gonna make my own rugs," and this was in 2022, and it is in the box that it came in behind me.
Okay.
So, I want to nerd into that, but I just haven't given myself the chance to do that yet. But I have the things for it. So, I have the things for almost every discipline that exists because I just have a lot of stuff. I don't have a TIG torch.
Okay.
That's the thing that I need.
And gas. Or do you sit looking at a bottle of gas and no TIG torch? Because that's equally awesome.
No. I just got I went to welding school for a little while when I was bored in North Carolina,
Sure.
and like you do, and but we only did stick welding.
Yeah,
And
well,
so
that's the good stuff.
exactly. Um, I I bought a welder, or I got a welder a week ago and to fix my lawnmower, and I didn't even buy any wire. Like I just bought electrodes. So it's a 4 process welder. It will do TIG. Probably not super, super great because it's, But my house only has 100 amps of service, and I don't have any 220 receptacles, so,
Yeah, but
you know, we'll get
little
there.
60-13 rods and a little bit of 120 power, and you weld through paint, rust, could solve all your problems.
Yeah, I was running 6011 and
Sure.
714. So, and that's working so far. I mean, say I haven't like done any arc welding in 5 years. I'd say it did okay.
Again,
I didn't
were
break
you
it that
outside
much
when you did
more.
it?
Was I what?
Were you outside when you did it?
You're not supposed to do it inside?
Well, I mean, stick
I'm
welding,
sorry. Yes, I was outside.
yeah, again, if you're stick welding, just go outside. It
Yeah, I
always works.
was outside. It was cool.
Yeah, if
Um,
it's good enough to build skyscrapers, it's
exactly.
fine for a lawnmower.
Exactly.
Okay, I will say one thing I love about you, Steph, is that there is nothing that happens that you're not like, I'll figure this out. And
Oh yeah.
that makes you my kind of girl. Is like, you're like, we have a plumbing problem, we have an electrical problem, we have a welding problem, we have whatever problem, poison ivy, whatever. And you're like, okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Part of
That's
that's
why
by necessity.
that's why I love you so much.
And
It's
I
because
love
you're just like my girl.
Yeah. I mean, like, who else is gonna fix it? There's no one else here. I don't really have any other options.
Exactly.
So, like, did I want to be an amateur plumtrician? No. But I am now, and,
Exactly.
uh, and now I'm way more capable than I thought. I mean, I have unrealistic expectations of myself. I firmly believe that if someone I know can do something, why can't I do it? Um,
It's how
and
I built a motorcycle. Totally
yeah,
makes sense.
I mean, that is a dumb thing to think because I'm friends with people who are like world-renowned engineers and like tech people. I'm like, I can't even turn my computer on, but if I can see how something works, then I'm like, I should be able to fix that. Boys can do it. How hard can it be?
Well, and that's the thing about the community too, is like we know all of these people. Like we know master electricians, we know plumbers, we know people that know framing, we know people that know, you know, all the things. So just reach out.
Yeah,
And I think that's what's so great about our whole community is that we can just ask questions and someone's going to show up and say, this is what you need to do.
for sure. And I've had plenty of people offer to help me, offer to like come in, like help me like take care of my house. And if I wasn't such a hoarder that was ashamed of how I live, then I would have taken them up on that. But once once I get, so I haven't really unpacked because I've lived here for 3 years. And
Eh,
um and it's been in a constant state of construction the entire time. But I feel like this summer, don't hold me to this, but this summer I'm gonna actually like finish rooms so that I can unpack things and things can go where they will permanently live instead of just being moved around a lot while I solve different problems, figure out what's inside what wall and why it's all wrong.
I will
Wait,
gladly be an accountability partner for you for that. And after the show, I will show you why I will gladly be an accountability partner for this endeavor. Um, so the time on the show is now, we are 53 minutes into this wonderful conversation, and we have talked about so many things, and you didn't even tell me what you want to learn that you haven't learned yet. Um, so maybe we'll
I
save it
wanna
for
learn TIG
Patreon
welding. I
content.
wanna learn
TIG,
TIG. Mhm.
very cool. Feed and wire is a lot of fun, and you can do it indoors, which is nice.
I've done it
That's
a
where
little
the
bit, but not enough that I would tell anyone that I can do it.
sure.
dude, TIG welding, like everything I've heard about it is that girls are so good at it.
I've heard that too.
Like men always say girls are so good at this because I don't know, maybe we're more meticulous about detail. But, anyways, keep going.
I think it's rhythm and pacing also. We'll talk about it after the show. This will be Patreon content. We got to take one more lap through the sponsors and then get to our final question. Stephanie, was there anything else that you wanted to tell us about that we forgot to remark upon?
I don't think so.
Wonderful. Okay. So one more thank you to Hannah and the team over at Surf Prep. I spend a lot of time talking about their drywall sanding donuts that have finally been released, but I think we need to take a second to talk about getting into the nooks and crannies with foam back abrasives that also feature really, really clever dust collection holes inside of them. If you haven't had your chance to get your hands on them, swing by the website, use coupon code Sawdust Talk, save a little bit of money, and put them on your machines, whether they say Surf Prep on them or not. They are a delight. Um, you know, the other night I was snuggled up with my pillow in an oversized and delightfully soft Surf Prep shirt, and I thought to myself, self, other people need to experience this kind of joy, pleasure, and wonder as they slowly drift off to slumberland. And you can do that, boys and girls. You can get your own Sawdust Talk sleep shirt at caseybombshell.com. Go check it out. See, look at that.
I have a question.
Yes,
Do
dear.
you only sell sleep shirts? Like, can
No,
you
but
get a regular shirt? Because I
It's
feel
just
like you go
regular.
really hard on the sleep shirts, and I haven't been to the website, but but I was just wondering if it's like only nightgowns or if there's also
It's
regular.
not
well, I
a
mean,
nightgown, it's a regular shirt.
it's just a very
They're
large
just
regular
super
shirt.
comfy.
They
They're
only
super
come in
comfy
like
and comfy.
double extra tall.
Yes,
Okay.
only tall tees, only V-necks.
Okay,
And if
cool.
you wear them in public,
Not
you have to tag your
true.
pants down to your knees, and it's like really awkward. So, like, we call them nightgowns.
I respect it.
None of what
I
I
just
just
wanted
said
to
is true.
clarify.
We have normal shirts for normal people, and if you want to
Oh,
rep Sawdust Talk on the street, that would be wonderful. But I really think that a Sawdust Talk nightgown is a fine piece of merchandise that I don't think enough makers are really leaning into.
I want one.
I can tell. Have you ever drifted off to sleep in a Sawdust Talk shirt?
Not yet, but I'm
Well,
gonna.
there's always next week, right?
Oh, hey, girl.
Yeah, looking nice. We need to also remind everybody that if you want to get involved in Makers for St. Jude, which allows you to take your cool stuff and do cool things for people that need your help, reach out to me, reach out to Jessie, reach out to Mike. Heck, you can even probably reach out to Hanover at Surf Prep. She'll get you all pointed in the right direction. We'll help you set up a website, and we'll make it happen so that you can do great things. And there will be a drive with prizes and great reasons to be involved if the caring nature of your heart is not enough. And finally, swing by Patreon. Throw $5 a month at our podcast in the name of getting Jessie a little bit closer to another event so that you can get a high five for Jessie that you can finance over 12 months at $5 a month. It is a wonderful experience. Everyone should do it. And helping us reduce the cost of tickets increases the probability that we'll show up to cool stuff and you can see us. That brings us to the final question, Steph. And that is every week we ask our guests for a final question to come up with a motivational thought or an idea or maybe a reason to open the door to a workshop or just pick up a tool or make a mess or get awesome. But what would you like to share with our listeners as we part ways?
I kind of feel like I can't top what I said earlier. um, I feel like that was rather motivating. So, I mean, I don't know. Just I feel like I am the kind of person who firmly believes that I can do anything, even if I have no idea how to do it, and that surprises a lot of people. But that's the way I've always been, and I encourage other people to do that as well. Just because you don't know how to do something doesn't mean you can't do it. Like, you can still do it. It might just take a little longer. You might have to ask some questions. Just because you don't know doesn't mean it can't be done.
Love it.
Amen.
Absolutely wonderful. And yeah, sometimes you got to get smart before you can get good, right? And yeah,
Yeah, failure is part of the process.
yeah,
I think that's
love
my
it.
favorite part about you, though. Like, all in all, is you're like, I have this problem. I don't know what I'm doing. People help me, but also I'm going to do my research and I'm going to figure it the fuck out. And I appreciate that about you so much, is that you are that person. And I'm kind of that person. So I
For
think
sure.
that's why it connects so
Like,
well.
there's a lot
So
like half the stuff I'm doing right now, I'm like, if someone was like, "Are you really gonna jack up your house with bottle jacks for a car and dig
Hmm.
a new foundation out from under it?" I would have been like, "No, that's dumb." And then I did it, and now my house is level. So,
There you go.
Right? So
and
when you
that's
drop your marbles, you
What
don't
you do.
lose your marbles.
yeah, exactly.
I love that. Steph, I'm so thankful that you came on tonight. Um,
Thank you so much for having
I
me.
love you so
I love you.
much. We appreciate you. This is episode 154. And TJ, do you want to take us out?
We will see you all next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks for being here.